everybody. March 6, 2012. Just got done hearing some guy on the radio give horrible advice to some woman who said, "What's your feelings on me accumulating some gold and silver coins or bars to hold in my possession?" And he says, "Well, what's in your mind? Why are you thinking you need to do that?" She says, "Oh, well, I'm worried about the falling dollar." And he says, "Well, you just get electronic traded fund, an ETF. There's no sense in paying high premiums to acquire physical gold." I would have told him what's on my mind is counterparty risk. You don't actually own it unless it's in your hand. I don't want electronic money. I want real money. But unfortunately, she didn't know enough to say that to him. But he told her, even if you go to the mint, you're going to pay $2,200, $2,300 for an ounce of gold right now. What planet is this guy from? I mean, come on, dude. Gold's on sale now. It just dropped down to, what, $1,675? You should be able to get a 1 ounce gold eagle for like $1,725, maybe $50 premium. He's telling this woman she's going to have to go pay $2,200, $2,300. So, just get the traded fund there and don't mess around with the physical. Unless you want to hand it down to your heirs in the future or something, I think he told her. If it's just like a diversifying ploy, if you're just trying to diversify a little bit your holdings, then, no sense in getting physical at all. I mean, these are the type of people that they just totally piss me off on the radio. They're telling people the wrong thing to do, but that's conventional wisdom. It's hard to fight. So anyway, I have 3, maybe 4 articles I'm going to put below in the more info section. For some people may be interested in one or the other, and some people not in the others. So first off, there was a doomsday bill in Wyoming that was knocked down. It was actually just a bill to put together a panel to see what how the state can prepare itself for another financial collapse. And basically, that's not needed, according to lawmakers. Everything's fine. So we don't need to do that in Wyoming. About 4 days ago, there was a bill to make gold and silver legal tender. Real revolutionary idea there. Make gold and silver legal tender in Colorado. And I don't care about the partisanship, Democrat, Republican. I don't side with either party. It just happened to be the Democrats that knocked this one down, and they were saying it would be a bookkeeping nightmare or whatever. Explain that to me. So that failed. As probably do know, that Utah would last year legalized gold and silver as legal tender, and not just the face value on the coin. I mean, if an ounce of gold is the market value $1,700, then you can legally use a 1 ounce coin to purchase something that costs $1,700 legally. It's currency in Utah, and they're even setting up accounts to where you can have gold held for you and use like a debit card. I mean, that's the way we have to go. We need to work back towards sound money. You have to have a unit of measurement. Now, I was reading about a carpenter. He uses his tools, and it'd be like taking away a yardstick or a ruler from a carpenter, or a tape measure who needs to measure things to build something. Well, we're being forced to build our financial future on paper money, a dollar that's being debased. I mean, that's why even in the Bible it talks about equal weights and measures. I mean, it's all common sense, but we've just been led astray from that, and we need to work back towards it. So props to Utah there, and hopefully we're going to see more states. Apparently the lawmakers there in Colorado never read Article 1, Section 10, which only gold and silver should be legal tender. And the Founding Fathers knew that. They knew the problems with paper money. So hopefully, I'll have to keep track of this. I'll report on other states in the future. that have voted on this. Let's see, there were those two. Oh, another article in Forbes. The guy, I looked at the bottom and it said, he's a nuclear engineer and started some 500 companies, whatever. I mean, he started 2 like Fortune 500 companies. He sounded like a smart guy, but he just doesn't seem to understand gold and silver. It's a real quick read. I mean, you should, if you're interested in. Well, the title is "The Problem with Gold and Silver is that Doomsday Never Comes." I mean, it's just like a doomsday type thing, and this is the type of stuff they're putting out there for people to read. It's whatever. He said smart money was selling gold at like when it was ran from 1600 up to 1750 or whatever. No, smart money went all in 11, 12 years ago, and is waiting to pull the trigger sometime in the future when gold has peaked, and when you're going to want to take your money, your gold and silver, and move it into something else, unless we do the right thing and get back onto gold and silver being used as our money. But anyway, there's going to be a point in the future you may not want to have it, but that's where the smart money's at. This guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And finally, I want to talk about another article. If you've never heard of Maritime Admiralty Law and the law of money and water, Jordan Maxwell talks about this a lot. I found an article, not by Jordan, it's by someone else. I'm going to post that. If you don't know about it, it has a lot to do with talking about you and how you have a birth certificate and how you are your own corporation and you're a straw man, and how the money and water have a huge connection, and like the money flows between the banks, a liquid asset, the banks of the river. Well, they're not just called river banks for nothing. The money flows between the banks, and a bank in Spanish or Latin is also bench, and the judge rules from the bench. That's why he rules from a bench. That type of information, it gets way more involved than that. Like you have citizenship and ownership. All these was ship and water, and just the whole thing, how all that came over from England. And that's real interesting stuff. If you've never, maybe some of you already know everything I'm talking about, but if you've never heard any of that type of information and where things come from, the words that I was just mentioning and stuff like that, I'll put an article to that. Very interesting stuff. Just extremely interesting. Where are the words? So that's about it for today. I want to thank everyone who commented on my last video. I had an overwhelming response, like 250 comments. I've never had that many comments on a video. Well, take that back. I have 600 comments on a Kiyosaki prediction of $6,000 silver that I did over a year ago. But I've never had 200 comments like within a day, and I've read every single one. It took me a long time. I really appreciate everyone who commented. Some of them really helped me out. A lot of them talked about, why don't you just buy your wife some jewelry, and then you'll be accomplishing your goal of acquiring precious metals, and you'll make her happy, which that's very true. She loves jewelry like most women, and I think that's what I'm going to do for her birthday. Rather than accumulate some coins, which I would probably do between now and June, maybe I'll just save up and buy her a nice gold bracelet or necklace or charm or something, at least 18 karat, and we'll go that route. So I really appreciate the comments and everything, and I'll leave it there. I'm at 10 minutes. Take care, everybody.